So in an odd turn of events, PlayStation 6 kind of got a release date here, and we're also talking about God of War Ragnarok breaking some pretty major records for PlayStation. Now, before we jump into that, if you could do me a huge favor, like, subscribe, share the video, helps the channel a ton, and I really appreciate it. Now let's talk about this PlayStation 6 and next generation Xbox release date that has been revealed through documents. Now, as part of UK regulator, the Competition and Markets Authority's ongoing investigation into Microsoft's proposed acquisition of Activision Blizzard, some stuff has come to light in regards to many different things, of course, but I don't want to really dive into that specifically. What we're going to talk about is what was revealed about the next generation consoles, and in quotes, indeed, the new generation of consoles are not expected to be released before the fall of 2028 at the very earliest. So it sounds like both companies are intending to release a console after 2027, whether that's the PS6 and Xbox Series, whatever it may be. We're not sure, but it's easy to assume that, the next generation is going to be called PlayStation 6 at the very least with PlayStation. With Xbox, we're not certain just yet, but we have talked a lot about new consoles. We've talked about mid-gen refreshes. We've talked about many leaks here and in between, and really anything you can think of in terms of hardware. And it's interesting to get this bit of information. I don't know if this includes mid-gen refreshes, because technically speaking, they are not new generation consoles. They're only halfway stepping stones to the new generation. So I think that this specifically is just referring to the real next-gen step. So I think a PS5 Pro is still in the question. Like, I do think that that is still potentially something that could happen because of all the rumors and alleged leaks that there have been about this, especially coming from sources that we deem to be reliable in most cases, or at least based on their history of leaking things. So again, I think mid-gen refresh is still possible, but this is interesting to hear when they actually plan on launching next gen. 2028 would give us a lot of time with our PS5s, whether you are an early adopter, whether you get the Slim, whether you get the potential mid-gen refresh that they are going to do. It gives us a lot of time in between for that generation. I think it's going to give a lot of value to us, and we'll see all the games that they drop in between. Really, really exciting news in a lot of ways. I mean, there is a ton of stuff going on with the CMA, and we could talk about that endlessly. There's just so much information, but I'd rather just wait till the end of it all, and then we can discuss it. Once a decision is made, we can talk about it. But as of right now, it's just a back and forth that I just can't be bothered with at the moment. Let me know what you think about this PS6 news, the 2028 release year for it. Do you think that that's too early? Do you want to see a PS5 Pro? Do you think we will even get a PS5 Pro in between? Let me know in the comments. Now, next we're talking about God of War Ragnarok. It has broken some records, selling 5.1 million copies through its debut week, and it is the fastest selling first-party launch for Sony. Previous to that, we had The Last of Us Part 2, and then previous to that, we had Spider-Man, and previous to that, we had God of War. So it seems like they keep one-upping themselves, and at first when Spider-Man happened, we said, oh, well, it's Spider-Man, it's a Marvel IP, of course it's going to sell massive numbers. And then The Last of Us Part 2 did it, and then God of War Ragnarok did it, so it just shows that really Sony is one-upping themselves every single time, which is pretty exciting. I gotta say, like, it's so impressive to see how great their studios are and how they're really able to pump out quality content. Personally speaking, I think that God of War Ragnarok is definitely not going to be at the end of this climb. I think with gaming growing, I think with PlayStation growing as a brand, we're going to see more and more people flocked to the PlayStation platform and to playing their IP, especially with their IP now going over to PC as well, being available to more people. And then obviously they have their cloud streaming services, which I expect to hopefully grow over time and become available in more and more places. So we'll see what happens with that. But overall, TV shows, all that stuff happening, movies, it's just going to make these brands grow bigger, these IP grow bigger. And it's exciting to see, definitely, as somebody who's been playing video games for a very, very long time, years and years, decades, I should say. It's exciting to see that this hobby is growing so great and that there's a lot of popularity still behind it, and it's only growing every single year. So PlayStation, great job. It's very exciting to see God of War doing so well. It's very exciting to see PlayStation Studios thriving, and I hope to see that continue and expect to see that continue through the generation. Let me know what you think in the comments. How do you feel about this God of War Ragnarok news? Breaking records, of course. And as always, if you have not subscribed already, please subscribe, like, share the video. Helps the channel a ton. You can follow me on Twitter. Link will be in the description. And if you want to support the channel a little further, you can always become a member at $1.99 Canadian per month. Every dollar gets reinvested into the channel. I will talk to you all on the next one. Take care.